How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. I'm trying my new mic on here with this platform today, so hopefully there's no issues. What's up, family? What's up? Hopefully we have a good turnout today. I got to definitely thank my brothers from Another Mothers, Adrian Gonzalez and Christopher Edwards from always contributing to the content and all that good stuff. It's definitely greatly appreciated. And they make this platform that much more better with their knowledge and expertise from the IT perspective, political perspective, and, just intelligence all around, real estate investment perspective, family perspective, so many perspectives. And like I said, that's why I do these live sessions, because I want to engage with people. It's called Larry's Anything Goes for a reason. It's all about us engaging with one another and having a discussion with one another. And it's all good. But today's title is "It's the end of the world as we is it the end of the world as we know it?" Not it is the end of the world as we know it. But it is a good question. We want to know because it's interesting to say the least. Matter of fact, I'm hoping that this microphone is working. But anyways, it's a good question. And I say it's a good question because, a lot of people are facing possible being homeless, being evicted right now. Like I said, it's not a joke. It's not a game. Throw your political conscience nonsense to the side. Like people are seeing their dollars kind of weakening in a sense, to where things are costing way more money. You see the prices of gas going up, price of food is definitely going up. I can just imagine what it costs for a family to, just to have a decent meal every week. Like I said, by myself, hundred some dollars every week. So I can just imagine what it's like with a family. I commend the people that are traveling. I really do, because they're like, hey, it might be a little scary, it might be a little crazy, but I'm still going to live my life. I've seen people go to Vegas. I've seen people go to Detroit. Haven't seen much international travel for obvious reasons, but I've seen people traveling, people going out, and they're practicing the social distancing, but they're still living their life. But the eviction process has got me concerned, because I'm a landlord, so I don't wish this on anybody's my worst enemy. I would never wish anybody being homeless. I've seen a good number of homeless people in the streets, and it's never a good thing. And I've been to cities where the homeless population is very high. LA is one of them. I love Los Angeles, but let's keep it real. Seattle is one of them. Let's keep it real. A lot of cities on the East Coast, New York, Houston, a lot of big homeless population in Houston. So I don't wish that on anybody. You know what I mean? So I will hope that these situations get resolved and that people do not end out in the streets. I know there's not even enough homeless shelters for, to have, hundreds of thousands of people who may end up on the street. This is, like I said, serious things that are happening right now. I'm not trying to be all Mr. Doom and Gloom or anything of that nature. If you just come in, welcome, welcome. This is an open forum. I'm just going on my little rant for now. I'm going to open up the discussion. Matter of fact, let me there we go. Yeah, I just want to make sure that the microphone is working. Let me plug it in again. Yeah, I just want to make sure. But yeah, it's there's a lot of things happening nowadays, and we all have to stand strong, fight with one for each other instead of against each other. I think the vision nonsense it needs to kind of go out of the wayside, because the funny thing is I saw a post on Facebook and I agree with it. We can disagree with each other without you unfriending me. And I think we need to get back as a society where we can have disagreements, but be respectful towards one another, and not have to go on a rampage of, back and forth comments for no reason. Like I said, I'm a grown man. I don't got time for that nonsense. I know it's just social media and, I'm on these specific platforms and things of that nature, but I don't have time to be arguing with other adults over. If it was like a business thing, then I understand it. But if it's like, if your politics to disagree with my politics, that's fine. You know, your religious beliefs disagree with my, that's fine. I respect that. That's the thing. I think we need to get back to this the crazy old respect category where, you know, we can agree to disagree but be respectful towards one another. You know, but you know, it's crazy out here. You know, riots in the streets, people being troops being sent out. You know, it's an interesting time that we're living. It's still exciting at the same time. You know, like society, I think would like to picture this time that we're living in as a not boring, but crazy. Everything sucks, and you know, run for the hills kind of time. But I think we're living in some interesting times to where the changes that are going to take place is people are not going to see it coming. You know, various experts from an economist standpoint, from a information technology standpoint, they're talking about, you know, not only is the stay-at-home economy real, but you know, the thing is that the technology that's being utilized even more so now with remote access and things of that nature, remote working, co-working spaces isn't a new phenomenon. I think they're just going to, you know, increase. You know what I mean? It's just going to increase, and I see it increasing more so, especially in major cities, because you know, if most people haven't realized that most major cities in the United States of America have turned into places where, you know, more millennial friendly, where people don't mind not owning a property, they don't mind being a renter, they just want to be close to their job, closer to their gym, closer to their school. You know, they want to be close to everything, and I can definitely respect that. They might not live in a big house and have the big picket fence, but in order to do something outside of the norm, you know, they'll go to a cafe and work on the computer, you know, or they'll go to, you know, the internet cafes or the co-working spaces, things of that nature. You know, it's not abnormal, you know, and that's going to be the norm, considered more and more the norm nowadays. And the thing is, will you be prepared for it? You know, that's you know, for this stay-at-home economy, you know, and then there's been discussions in regards to another form of the virus mutating and spreading even faster. So it's another thing to take into consideration. You know, you just never know what might happen. So you still have that danger out there at the same time. You have to, you know, proceed with caution, as I like to say. You know, definitely proceed with caution, because you just never know what might happen, you know. But these are the times we're living in, you know. What new is going to be created? My personal opinion, I think the new 2 deliveries that are going to take place is in the states where it's legal. I think you're going to have a new laws that are passed where marijuana dispensaries can deliver, you know, marijuana to people's houses, just like you have a lot of the grocery store chains. They're allowing people, you know, delivering food to people's houses. That's just becoming the norm now. I think with marijuana dispensaries, I'm not an advocate for marijuana. I don't smoke it. I'm not around it, but I'm just saying from a business perspective, alcohol stores, you know, a lot of them are going to have the, if not more drive-throughs like you have in the state of Maryland, you will have more outlets to where people can go into an app, just like Uber Eats or Grubhub or DoorDash, and order their alcohol. And I'm sure they'll put some sort of stipulation, hey, when you deliver it, the person has to show their ID to show that they're of age and it's actually them, you know, things of that nature. But I could just see that happening, you know. Probably by sometime in 2021, I can see somebody lobbying for that in some state legislature, or in Congress, wherever, and it being signed off. And you know, I get to see that becoming the thing, not the new norm and whatnot. You know, just like mobile bars is going to be the new norm. You know, so it'll be interesting to say the least. You know, and I'm going to read the definition of actual co-working space. It's all-inclusive amenities, private, fully furnished offices, conference rooms, and more. Flexible co-working spaces, you know, and they're known to have them in New York City, Los Angeles, Atlanta. You know, month-to-month leases, fully serviced and staffed. You know, best-in-class amenities and things of that nature. It's just going to become more of the norm. And a lot of those places are still open because, you know, a lot of people just doing any and everything to get outside of their house and whatnot. And I can understand that as well because, you know, cabin fever is real. And I can just imagine how a lot of people are just like, I'm just sick and tired of being at home. And I can get that. I mean, myself, today's been a day of victory. Got my first tax lien in Baltimore, Maryland. So thanks to my boy Dalen, I'm glad that he talked to me about this and, you know, kept keeping me nice and encouraged and whatnot, because a lot of times it's hard to do things when you're by yourself. So, you know, it's always nice to, you know, have that currency in your circle, people just engaging with you in conversation, give you information that you don't know about and whatnot. And I'm ready to go to the Philadelphia tax lien in October. You know, I'm ready to make some more money moves in regards to that, because nowadays is the best time, in my personal opinion, for unconventional purchasing for real estate investors. So if you don't know, I do the real estate investing thing outside of Larry's Anything Goes, where I sell products and whatnot. And that's what Patterson L Properties, and soon will be Patterson Rental Properties, all at the same time. So, but I'm going to put the link in the chat room and, you know, select it if you want to call in. Let's have a conversation. If you're new, I definitely want to get the, I definitely want to talk to you. Let's have a conversation, family. Let's engage. Let's engage. Let's engage. Let's engage. Just making sure that my mic was working and whatnot, but you just never know. Better safe than sorry. Oh, wow. Got a storm going on right now. Didn't even realize it. So yeah, call in, family. Let's have a conversation. The link is in the comment section. If not, it is all good. I'm definitely not planning to stay on that late tonight, but I definitely wanted to have a great discussion with you all about not only today's times, but as I feel like it's the end of the old world as we know it. That's the best way to put it. It's at the end of the old world as we know it. You know, because it just feels like it. You know, it really does. Yeah, it's just there's no other way to describe it. You know, it feels like it's the end of the old world as we know it. That should have been the title, because, you know, I know traveling is not going to stop, but I just think it's going to be less traveling for the next couple of years. My prediction could be wrong, you know. Okay, so it's not going to be. All right, so it'll be like. So yeah, I think less traveling. I think more virtual events. I mean, what was it last night? You had DMX versus Snoop Dogg. You know, two of my favorite rappers. I didn't watch it and whatnot. Maybe I'll check it out eventually. But you know, is it truly the end of the world as you know, the old world as we know it? You know, they had their virtual battle, and it was just them in the studio, I believe. Concerts have been taking place online. You know, and people paying a way cheaper price for admission. Comedians are doing stuff online virtually, you know, because they got to make a living as well. You know, it's like, is this really the end of the old world as we know it? You know, I have a funny feeling that a lot of places within, not even just the United States, but just around the world, I think you're going to have a lot more empty commercial buildings, you know. And I don't even know how that's going to really pan out, but that's what it's looking like in my personal opinion, you know. So we shall see what happens. I will head out in a second, family, put the background picture up because I'm waiting on my dinner. And you know, me and brothers got to eat, you know. But it's interesting times. It's very interesting times, and I think the funny thing is when I talk about co-working spaces, I think that with a lot of people, because a lot of people, you know, they have families and they can't get a lot done, you know, with their kids around. I'm not saying it's, you know, a bad thing to have kids or nothing, but they can't get a lot of things done from a working perspective, and they need that separation from their family in regards to when they work in a job or they work in their business. And I think just to save time and energy and to feel good about, a lot of people don't want to be at home for a long time. I get it. You know, me personally, I'm the exact opposite. I love being at home. You know, especially I pay enough to live in a place, so I'm going to enjoy being there. But a lot of people need to get out. It's healthy. You got to get some sun. It's very unhealthy to just stay indoors all the time. So I totally get that. So I think it's going to be the new norm for a lot of people. It's going to save businesses a lot of money for them not leasing and owning commercial facilities. And you're going to have the new norm of these co-working spaces pop up even more so because a lot more people are going to want to be able to get out of the house, get away from the family for a little bit, or just get out of the house and get away from the regular routine, you know. And as long as they're working on their projects, I'm sure their direct supervisors won't have an issue. Like, hey, the job's getting done, you're working your hours, so let's just be realistic about it. So I definitely see that happening, and you know, like I said, that to me, I think that's just going to create more of a atmosphere for more entrepreneurs. Just my personal opinion, though. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, oh, okay, well, we're not going to service these regular buildings anymore, but we're going to service these co-working spaces. You know, we're going to put vending machines there. You're going to probably place a Starbucks or McDonald's in that specific area because somebody wants some coffee, somebody wants some food, or they'll put like some sort of a food cart in those specific areas where those co-working spaces are going to be. You know, when it was normal to have all these people, hundreds or thousands of people working in these downtown centers, it's probably going to be 200 to 300 people working in these downtown areas. And a lot of time, half of them might just be utilizing the co-working spaces. And the co-working space is only going to allow so many people in the practice of social distancing. They're going to take the temperatures to make sure that you're, you know, not, you know, your temperature isn't above the normal level one, then two, they'll sanitize the areas, and that's going to open the doors, opportunities for more cleaning companies. You know what I mean? Because of sanitization, I talked about that at least a month or two ago about how a lot more of these cleaning companies are actually making bank. A lot more people are getting cleaning contracts because a lot of these buildings that still need business to get done are needing extra cleaning services, not just the normal cleaning services and whatnot. So I think that's very interesting. You know, here in the background, I got a storm going on. It's like, okay, this is a good old storming season right now. But yeah, so that's, to me, that is very, very interesting. You know, just the thought of that. You know, that's going to create that atmosphere for those kind of and then if you're in the IT industry, you're definitely going to, you know, you already had job security, you're going to have way more job security, and it's going to open Pandora's box for more IT companies to be created and whatnot, because as the remote accessing industry grows, you know what I mean, and it's not going down. The remote access industry is going to continuously grow and grow and grow, and like I said, more companies will come of age when it comes to these certain things. So it's going to be very interesting, you know, to say the least. It's going to be very, very, very interesting. You know, so we shall see what happens and go from there. You know, let's see. Is that my food? Just making sure. But yeah, so that to me, that's going to be very interesting. You know, we'll see how things pan out, and we'll go from there. But I just see that being more and more of the new norm. You know, I think, and then I made a video about Airbnb making a comeback, but you know, I've heard a lot of people state that they don't want to stay in anyone else's house. They'd rather stay in a hotel room where they know there's actually a cleaning staff. Not to say that people that have Airbnbs don't utilize cleaning staff once people leave and whatnot. I think even Airbnb put new stipulations. People can't stay in your place after a certain amount of time and whatnot. So that would be very, very interesting. You know, so I'm just wondering what are going to be the new norm companies that are expected to be created right now from a remote access standpoint. That is the question right now. You know, how are they coming up? You know, I'm sure they're probably being developed in Austin, in Atlanta, in Silicon Valley right now, or maybe in another part of the United States. You just never know. But I'm sure that is becoming a part of the new norm in our society right now. So, and then media is going to be way more important. Well, it is way more important now than ever, any sort of media, because the digital content age is just probably exploding even more so because people really can't go anywhere. And I'm still very surprised in regards to basketball season and whatnot, but I get it because, players still need to make money. There's a lot of contracts and whatnot, but still you're going to have a lot from the NBA standpoint. You're still going to not have as many. A lot of vendors are going to lose out a lot of money, just like people talking about college football. College football or basketball is very important because when those big games happen, people come to these towns to spend money to cheer for their teams, especially it's a very big thing in the South. So I can just imagine from an economic standpoint how that's going to be affected. If they even let these people play, okay, great, but no fans means no money, and they're basically losing more money than they're actually gaining. But who knows? Maybe they will create a price of admission and whatnot for people to be able to watch it on television instead of just watching it on regular network television. They're going to have to make their money somehow, some way. I could say that with sincerity. I can definitely say that with sincerity. So we'll see what happens. But hey, family, who is out there? Let me know. Call in. What is the deal? Let's have a conversation. Let's engage. That's my personal opinion on that one. Where you at? Let me know. What do you think? Is this the end of the old world as we know it? Let me know your opinions on this one because it's very, very, very interesting. The times we're living in right now. Very interesting. So where do we go from here? That is the question. Where do we go from here? That is the question. So let me know if you're out there. Comment in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. Select the link in the comment section. Let's go. Give me your opinions on the old world versus today's world. And what is the projection of the new world and whatnot. The new world order, as I like to call it, because, the old world is definitely becoming a thing of the past. But I'm in a good mood. I got my tax lien in Baltimore. I'm looking to get some tax liens in Philadelphia. So I'm ready to get it in. I'm ready to get it done. So I'm ready to have fun. And I got a couple sales this morning as well. So I fulfilled those orders. Thank you for placing your orders. I truly, LarrysAnythingGoes from the bottom of our hearts, truly appreciates all the business that you guys have given out, especially people I grew up with. And like I said, once you make a purchase on my online store, you get a thank you card and whatnot. I always ask people to do a thank you video and whatnot to highlight you supporting small businesses. It's greatly appreciated. And if you haven't seen on the bottom line there, if you're thinking about joining Care Bars International, where we buy gold, we save it, you refer others, you can make money off of them as an option. There's no monthly fee. The only fees you're paying is if you want to buy a package and you want to buy gold. And it's a choice. It is not a must. And if you do that and you refer others to do the same thing, you can make money off of their referrals and their gold commissions as they purchase gold on a monthly basis. But it's all an option. If not, no big deal. Any negative comments, you know what happens. But yeah, it is all good in the neighborhood. Up, there goes Chris. Mr. Edwards is in the building.
Yo.
Sir.
What up?
Oh man, life is great, man. Life is great, man. Finally, something came through,
Take time, man. Don't worry. I'm about to say I just got my. I just had one of my clients get their first. Get one of their first customers today too. So it's a good day today.
Is that right, man? I love that video you put together, man.
Oh yeah.
You got to do more of those, man. It's like, yeah, you got that sneaky creative genius going on right now, man. I love that.
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about people doing other stuff. Like, no, let me see if I can tie it in. Now I gotta change the intro music because I just found out it's somebody actually bought the rights to that, so I gotta change it real quick.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah, I got plenty more. We good.
Yeah, I figured that was the case. Yeah, I heard that that happens for a lot of YouTubers. A lot of times they have a great music and whatnot. A lot of times they end up paying an artist to do a song for them and whatnot, just so they don't have to worry about the copyright issues or anything of that nature.
Well, it's funny because I had it for like for 2 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, I had it for 2 years and stuff. But now I noticed in my last 2 videos, the one I just posted and the one before that, is saying, somebody on the right. So it's like, all right, no problem.
if it's not one thing, it's another, man.
Yeah.
Man. So one of your clients definitely worked out. How did you ever hear back from Roy? I haven't heard from him in
Yeah,
a
I
long
did.
time.
He actually sent me an email because I sent him an email just reminding him of all the things I could do for him for his business and everything like that. So he said we're going to talk on in September.
Okay, got you.
So
That's good to hear. Yeah, and I would imagine probably things are a little slow for him right now because everybody's getting readjusted to the new economy, as I like to call it.
right.
Because the way I'm looking at it is, I just don't see things really going back to normal ever now. At first, I used to say anytime soon, but now I don't even know if it's going to happen ever because I was just reading before I came on tonight. I was reading an article about the new strain of COVID, possibly the mutation of it, and it's spreading much quicker now. I don't know if it's fear mongering or anything of that nature, but you get the gist of it.
Yeah, I mean this is our Spanish flu.
Yeah.
This is our Spanish flu. That's what it is. Like either we got to find an actual vaccination for it to end it all completely, or
Right.
we got to find a way to work around it.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I was surprised that the RNC was being canceled down in Jacksonville. I thought they was going to push forward with that, but I guess they was like, hey, we can't have these forums and whatnot like that. It's like,
yeah,
either side doing it like they did, and if they do, they just can't have all those people in the auditoriums anymore. It's just
sometimes it's better to just try to avoid the whole situation and trying to make things work.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just no other way. I mean, this is the new norm now. It's like, people being a lot more cautious and careful, and with everything shutting down in most areas. I mean, how's it in San Antonio? Have they officially put things back to the way they were back in April, or what?
We definitely went backwards.
Okay.
We definitely went backwards. Now everybody trying to figure out what's going to happen with the schools and everything like that. So, school for the kids here start on August 24th.
Really?
Yeah.
So how's that going to play out for your daughter? Are you guys sending her to school? You going to home?
So the first 2 weeks is going to be virtual schooling.
Okay.
And then initially the face-to-face will be on September 1st, around that time frame. But they're going to monitor and see exactly how things go from there.
Okay.
Any kids
how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so any kids in high school, they got it good. They'll be doing online stuff, and then they'll be doing face-to-face, but only twice a week.
Okay, well, I think that's smart. That makes sense. Twice a week.
Yeah,
it's kind of like how a lot of jobs are bringing people back a couple days a week and they're having them telework more. It just lightens the chances of any infections or anything of that nature. But
yeah.
I mean,
by that time, high schoolers, and we know this from our experience, either we know it or we don't.
Basically, yeah. I mean, let's call it what it is.
Either we know it or we don't. If we don't know it, then we know who to go to get the help that we need. If we do know it, then but I wish we were able to do schooling at home, like history class. I was sleeping that most of the time I was in school for history, and I still came up with at least maybe a B average in history.
Let's see. I think knowing the people that we knew in our neighborhood, if they had the option of virtual, you already know how that would have went down. So
yeah,
they will remain nameless, but
yeah, that's
let's just say if I myself, my mother, I would have been, handling my business. She didn't play that, but other people, whole different story. They would have been out in the street doing what they wanted to do. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think about that now. It's like, the people that fall in that category of those people we're talking about, how they're probably reacting to this whole thing. They're probably like, oh man, this is great. I can go out and do what I want to do for the most part. I had to skip school, but now I'm at home. It's like,
it's a little different now compared to when we were kids to now us having kids of our own. It's like, nah, you got to go to school. You can't be here all day with me.
Yeah, because even now there's more communication between the parents and the teachers. Correct me if I'm wrong, because hey, you got the email, they got their own systems. You know, we
Yeah,
didn't have that growing up. So
yeah. So
worst thing was getting something in the mail or a phone call back then.
uh, I know there's a few times I definitely gave them the work number when my mom was off work, and then the house number when she went to work.
Hey, you had to do what you had to do, but you know, in today's world, you can't get away with that anymore.
Oh no, they now got their own social media page set up and everything for schooling now.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're gonna always be in the know. They don't call it the information age for nothing, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so to me, it is a very very beautiful thing. But I can't. We're going into August, and it's like you said, it just seems like we're going backwards. And I mean, with more and more things happening online, like the great example last night with the DMX and the Snoop Dogg battle. I didn't see it. I'll watch it eventually, probably this weekend. But you know, when we were growing up, you know, battles were taking place in a concert, you know, form, and you know,
Yeah, they don't. They really doing it for the. They doing it for the love. Now, granted, they might get some money out of it,
right,
but ain't nothing like okay. They're doing like a concert type thing. They did originally. Okay, originally before the whole coronavirus set, it was Timberland and Swiss Beat. They started it.
right,
And they've
right,
been doing this for the love of music. Then
right,
when the coronavirus kicked in, everybody was sitting down doing nothing. Then it started trying to capitalize on the whole scenario. But
exactly.
I did see a little bit of a DMX and Snoop last night. I saw a replay of it, and I ain't gonna lie, both of those guys, brothers, they're two different dogs. Period.
Right, exactly.
They're two different dogs, but the energy they have with feeding off each other, like they almost like a barbecue. Snoop with the high uncle, DMX with the drunk uncle.
That's about the size of it, and I love the fact that they can still do this for the love of the music and whatnot. You know, and like you said, it's not about the money; it's just about the love that they have and whatnot. And I truly respect that, and it just makes fans appreciate it even more so. I mean, me as a fan, I definitely appreciate the fact that they're doing this, and you know, because right now, obviously, you know, in today's world, you don't see just many opportunities like that anymore, and
Yeah.
and as far as venues, everything's shut down, so you know they can't. The craft isn't really being performed unless it's online. Like literally, like I was saying, I was at the grocery store today, and it's funny. One guy's like, "Hey man, what time's the liquor store closed?" I'm looking at him like, "How am I supposed to know this?" Right? That's what Google's for.
Yeah.
He works in a deli, and I say, you know what? I heard that certain states are practicing or trying to figure out ways to have they like now they have mobile pickup if you want to do something like that. But they're trying to figure out ways how they can Uber eat it or something like that, or DoorDash or
Well, in
Grubhub.
that case, then they need to go look at Ohio because they got drive-through convenience stores.
I heard that, yeah. Like Maryland has the same thing, but I heard Ohio has that, yeah.
Yeah, Ohio got that drive-through, so you got to talk to Ohio see what they do with that.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I think Ohio and Maryland will probably be the first ones to implement, like, hey, Uber or Grubhub, you can do this. Just make that the only thing is you have to ensure that they show their ID when you deliver it, you know, or another company will be created to do something like that.
Oh, somebody's gonna create it if it ain't done already.
Exactly. Because I know in California, there's actually I think somebody's lobbying the state legislature to allow the marijuana dispensaries to do that at the same time.
Mm.
And I'm like, it makes sense. I mean, I can just imagine somebody in Silicon Valley right now trying to create a new app to do something to that effect and whatnot and make it profitable, you know, outside of Uber or Uber themselves or Grubhub or DoorDash is probably trying to implement something like that. But
or Snoop with his Mary Jane company.
Exactly. It just so speaking of which, and you're the tech guy here. So what other companies you think are going to be created now in this new world? Because you know that's two I thought of that doesn't have a consistent delivery system. So
well, we got one that's in the making right. We got one that's in the making right now. That's it's not starting to make noise, but
okay.
It is not. The company already been developed, but it's Tesla with their solar panels.
Okay.
Actually, so their solar panel is not those big blocky ones you see on houses nowadays. Now the
Right.
solar panels he got that he also patent and trademark and everything like that. They look like shingles.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So the whole roof is the solar panel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it minimizes structural damage when you got to put those big panels on. Because obviously down here we get a lot of people come to our door progressively asking us to can you put solar panels on our roof, but these panels, they're not covered with our homeowners insurance.
Got you.
So if any damage is made to the roof, we got to pay that out of pocket. Well, Elon Musk built these shingle-like solar panels that they cover the whole roof up, minimize the structural damage, but getting maximum power.
Now I'm wondering why the insurance company is not insuring it, because it's new, or what's the deal with that?
Not really 100% sure on that.
I mean, or is it not regulated by the federal government yet, or something? I mean, because I know that's the main reason why, as far as the marijuana industry goes, that's why they still can't put money in the banks, and now these new private banks that aren't regulated by the FDIC have been created and whatnot now, so that marijuana companies can actually store their money into a bank of some sort.
Well, I think of it in this case, and for at least the houses down here, stuff like that, they don't cover the damage made from like third-party sources or anything like that. So
okay, now it all makes sense.
Yeah, so especially something like that, because it's the way my house is set up, we have panels on both sides because my house is structurally east and west.
Got you.
So it'll just cover the whole roof, which should be good energy-wise. But if there's any major damage, like any leaks or anything like that, they won't cover because we put that on ourselves, knowing the risk.
Got you. Okay, now that all makes sense. That all makes sense. Any other companies you think that might be created and whatnot? Because I noticed now most grocery store chains have gotten on board with the home delivery chain now. First, as that I knew of, it was only Giant. It's using the Peapod. But now I know Safeway is doing it, and I think Food Line is trying to get on board as well. You guys have Kroger's down there where you live at? I know they're big in Georgia and Carolinas and Florida.
We might have one down here, but our biggest food supermarket chain is HEB.
Oh, okay. I never heard of them.
Yeah, well, it's through Houston too, so I'm surprised you didn't hear about it. But yeah,
HTB?
No, HEB.
HEB. I probably have. I know the other one. I actually still have the card and whatnot. It starts with an S, I believe.
Yeah, but that's the food chain down here, so they're already doing delivery service and everything like that.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're doing deliveries.
Yeah, Randall's. Yeah, that's what it is. Randall's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do you guys have Randall's in San Antonio?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
it's really down here, HEB and like mom and pop shops.
Got you. Okay.
Or international stores, one of the two.
Got you. Yeah, those, and I know the international ones down there are definitely probably better than they are in the DMV.
Yeah.
Because I've been to one in Texas, and I've definitely been to like two in California. So yeah, because it's more. I think to me, it's like it's more authentic, and it's like I always said, the difference between the South and the West Coast and the East Coast. If your food sucks in the South and the West, you're going to get closed down. So
that is true. That is true.
You know, but and that's the thing. I'm wondering now. Do they have co-working spaces down there in San Antonio?
Co-working space? Like what you mean?
So they're basically like a lot of companies within the last couple of years, they've created these spaces. It's definitely more millennial friendly. So these places where it's like an internet cafe, but they're not called internet cafes. You remember what those are like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically a place where people, they take their laptops with them or whatever, iPads, anything of that nature, and they're able to work in an office setting environment, and they pay a fee to go there.
Oh yeah, we got that here.
Snacks, you know what I'm talking about. Snacks.
Yeah,
they got coffee. It's like I call it like a Google atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
You have nap pods and things of that nature. I figured I know most major cities have them, and I was figuring that that's going to quadruple now because more we see where we're at and where we're going as far as more corporations allowing more of a remote access environment from here on out.
Yeah, actually, my job actually is doing that now because they are encouraging This is before coronavirus. They were encouraging people to work from home, so they started charging $5,000 a month per space if you're working in the office. So basically, telling your manager, send them home. So now we got all these. At my job, we got flex station, what they call them, and we basically go online through the site through our job. Set like an appointment, so to speak, to like, okay, what day we're coming in, what desk or conference room. And we just go in there for that day and time frame, and then do our work. Now, as for people that have businesses, they have a similar thing. I can't think of the website or the company that does it down here, but I'll send it to you so you can post it later on today and stuff. But they do the same thing. You got all these office spaces that are just available to use for like meetings, conference calls. And obviously you got to pay a certain amount per, let's say, per hour or day, whatever like that. But but this company also rents out golf courses.
I could see that. I think that's going to happen more. And then you just segued into where I was going. I see more and more companies having more temporary, let's say, halls and what for people. Halls for people who are actually, like a company, everybody's working remotely, but we want to get everybody together. We're going to meet at this specific hall or meeting place and whatnot, twice a quarter, whatever, you know what I mean? And the company has a contract with this specific organization, and they're going to, the company makes money off profits, obviously, off of hosting a Wells Fargo or a Bank of America for this specific event, and you guys are actually having a meeting and the award ceremonies and things of that nature. Everybody's getting tested to make sure that nobody has a high temperature or anything of that nature. And things, they make sure the place is sanitized and whatnot. So I could see more companies like that growing as well. More,
I can see that happening.
Because it'd be a temporary thing for the company. And like you said, it saves the company money because they don't have to actually own that space or lease it. They utilize it every now and then.
Yeah, they'll save a lot of money that way because all they got to do is just pay and show up. They don't have to worry about any cleaning that goes along with it. Now, they'll probably got to provide some office food or drinks and stuff like that. But the cleaning part will go to that cleaning crew. The organizer organizes it, and that's what it just paid, be in and be out.
Exactly, and that opens up the door for more contracting companies, so audiovisual technology, and cleaning companies and food services.
Right. And what I also learned about just stuff like that is that these companies, they don't bill them by the day. No, they gotta work with them and get like corporate contracts. So they get invoices per month. Monthly income coming in through there. So they got what they'll do, especially they'll get the best salespeople to go promote these facilities. And try to get them down for, let's say, maybe let's just say, for example, a year contract.
Got you. Keep talking, Chris. I gotta go grab my food. Keep talking.
But yeah, they just get their contracts and fill it out, and then on let's say monthly basis, they put an invoice out for them to get paid. Oh boy. But El, how's the weather out there, man? Is it cold yet?
And yeah, Chris, go ahead and plug your business too, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Gotta keep doing that.
Yeah. Let everybody know. I'm just waiting on my DoorDash, but let everybody know your business and what you do, your services.
Yeah, so I am the proud owner of Reaching Out to. I'm the owner, also customer acquisition specialist. And my business is a digital marketing agency. So we go ahead, we design websites, we make sure you post positive reviews for your business. Man, what else? So many things I'm doing. We did reviews, positive. We do explainer videos, and there's one more thing. And we do special events advertising. So, like for example, in this case, for example, Labor Day is right around the corner. We could go ahead and promote using either Facebook, Instagram, or Google. Promote your business for, in this case, Labor Day, for you to get more customers coming into your doors, or use Labor Day as a, like, say, 10% off deal for any products you have online to be sold to your customers. So my end goal is to bring more businesses, more clientele, and more money for the company for the bottom line. So you want to reach out to me. My number is 210-570-5952, or you go to my website at reachingoutconsultants.com. And also, you can also go to my Facebook page and my Instagram page, which I will actually type that in for you guys. But for any business, small, medium, large, all in business, if you want to get in touch with me and you want that extra push to get you to client, especially during this day and time, feel free to contact me, and we'll go from there. And here, this is my. So in a minute, LJ will see it and he'll post it up online. But that's my my Facebook page. Go there, like and support my page. I'm always going to have content on there, either with video, written content, or even just motivational meetings for everybody. And also post it on my website once again. So once OJ sees it, he'll go ahead and post it online for everybody else to see as well. Oh, and also another thing that I just forgot to mention when we were actually speaking with LJ last time, I'm actually focused on creating a new animation show for my just for me that I've been thinking about for like the times I had when me and him was growing up when we were younger. So I'm actually right now at the groundworks developing my storyline and trying to find any animators that's willing to partner with me to create this this 5-minute mini series and to see how things go. So if any animators out there, feel free to contact me as well, so we can just talk more about my vision, my plans, and how we can make an idea turn to a wonderful animation story.
All right, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it, man. They delivered food to the wrong house. I'm like, Lord have mercy. They said, your food has been delivered. I was like, no, it hasn't. I go outside. My neighbor's like, hey, Larry, I think I got your food.
Oh, man. Never mess with a man's food, that's for sure.
No, yeah, don't do it. Let me put your let me put your websites out there. Oh my God. I'm like, you son of a gun. Don't mess with a man's food. That's illegal. They get hurt.
You wait a long time to get it too.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, we don't play those games. But those co-working spaces, here's his Facebook page, family. So definitely check it out. But are those co-working spaces, are they big in San Antonio? I know they're very big in DC.
It's starting to.
Okay. I figured that was the case because it's because cities like DC have become more yuppie ties. There's nothing wrong being a yuppie. But people who want to, live the city life, be able to walk to their job, walk to the metro, walk to school, et cetera, and so forth and whatnot. So and a lot of these people live in small spaces. I mean, having family in New York, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh
So
yeah.
able to go to a place, get some breathing room from their significant other, from their family, from their roommates, et cetera, and so forth. So I just see, it's kind of like, what is it? Those co-living spaces are becoming a big thing, especially in places like, the Bay Area in California, New York City,
Mhm.
another, DC, Boston, any place where it's very expensive, and now Atlanta and Miami and Houston, any place where the job market's getting better, and you already know how that goes. When the job market gets better, the price of everything goes up. So,
Right.
so I see more of these co-living spaces becoming. Because a buddy of mine who lives in Maryland, he partnered with somebody in Colorado, and they've actually they bought 2 warehouses and whatnot, and they turned these warehouses into co-living spaces.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, and the co-living spaces, if you've ever seen them before, it looks like a warehouse. It has all these amenities, but they're basically just paying for a bed, and that's it. They share basically, in a sense, they share like a locker room as far as for the men and the women, and things, different separate showers and whatnot. They share little co-working spaces and whatnot for the internet connections, eating spaces. They share the same kitchens. Everything's shared. It's kind of like they call it during like the Great Depression days, where everything was shared and whatnot. Like it was normal for 7 people to sleep in one bed time frame and whatnot. And it's for business opportunities when it comes to things like that.
Well, it's because that now it's even down here, it's hard to have a career without having a skill set.
You know what? I didn't think about that.
It's really hard to have a career without a skill set down. I know down here for a fact. I know up there was the same thing. Then they said, I remember when I started looking for jobs in the IT field, they try to give you the runarounds like, all right, you got to have your degree. Then you got to have 4 or 5 years of experience before you get. And most of the time, like, okay, I've got the skills now, but I don't have to prove to you guys that I have the skills. So it sucks, but the main reason why a lot of companies do that is because they're not trying to pay you for what you're worth. They're really not. There's been a few times where I know being a help desk technician,
right?
Alone, I could have easily should have got maybe 50,000-60,000 a year.
Right.
The job was only going for 35.
Of course.
So at that time, beggars can't be choosers. I had to go for that, even though I knew what it was. But all these qualifications up there, like, okay, you got to have this, this, and this. When in reality, all you need is just experience and honestly know what you're doing.
Agreed. 100%.
If you know what you're doing and you prove in front of their faces, then you got the job. But if you can't do that, then you're not going to get it.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because that's one of the big arguments. One former coworker of mine, she told me the main reason why she left Atlanta at the time, I think it was like 15 years ago, is because of a lot of the tech companies. She's a techie just like yourself. She said that they were doing the similar method in regards to the other major cities when it comes to the hiring practices. What do they call those visas? Is it H1N1 visas?
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah. So H1N1 visas, and basically, they would bring these people from other countries, pay them less, but the deal was, hey, we're paying for you to be here.
Yep.
So, you can't really complain about the salary or anything of that nature, and that a lot of other IT specialists left them out there in the cold and whatnot, in the dark, or just having to accept less, because of that.
Well, that's because it's the main thing. It's the main thing we all talked about. How much money can you get from production?
It's true.
So you got these companies that's bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars, and you got people that are very skillful what they do, but say that total workforce is worth about, let's say, 50 million. You make a net profit of $50 million.
Right.
And you got the H1N1 program. You might be able to get the same group of workforce, or if not better skills. It may cost your workforce maybe $20 million. You're going to take that all day compared to your homegrown workforce at 50 million, because your end goal is to get a profit, which could bring you bonuses to your CEO, your executive boards, for them to decide what they want to do with it.
This is true. This is true. And you know what? I didn't even think about it like that. And then with the so I read this book called How You Can Get a Million Followers and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that is talking about the markets, the other foreign markets that a lot of media companies, i.e. Facebook and more, are moving the direction more into markets like in India and in Africa and whatnot. Why? Because more people in those specific countries actually are on these social media platforms more than any other Western nations within the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, that's why WhatsApp app is such a big thing right now in Africa and whatnot. And, you know, Facebook is growing so much within India and other places in the surrounding areas and whatnot, because they're targeting those markets. So they're opening up companies in those specific markets all at the same time. And you know what comes with that? If they're opening more companies in those markets, then they'll have more laborers in that market, and they'll possibly take the labor out of the American market.
Yeah, because it's also
they don't have to pay them as much.
It's based on our currency. So I, for a fact, India, the Philippines, just as good, if not better than skill set than what I do. But I know I'm making way more than them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That's because of where they live at. Like, if I ever wanted to move out there and make just my job that I have now, not alone my business, just my job alone,
you live like a king.
I'll be great. we'll be straight, but I'm not going to even bother asking. But they're getting paid their salary based on where they live at, and that's anywhere in the world.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's amazing that you mentioned that, because that goes into another segue. I think with one thing with the old world, it was already pushing a lot of Americans to retire in other countries, because I've heard so many people who make more than you and me put together, they say they can't afford to retire in the United States.
Yeah.
So no matter what part of the country they live in. So the funny thing is, it's been a big move to not only places like Costa Rica, Panama, but now the Philippines. Where else? The Philippines, in those specific areas, Bangladesh, I believe. A lot of African Americans are starting to retire in Ghana, Namibia, Togo, Nigeria, you know, the Caribbean. You know, it's very normal. That's becoming the new norm now. Not people who immigrated here, but just for regular Americans. Like, it's a lot of Americans are retired in Mexico. People wouldn't believe it, but they are.
Well, I think it is that, like you said, your money stretches longer in a different country based off of currency alone.
Yes.
But also, there's a lot of people that, like, when they retire, they still they want to still see the world.
True. That is true.
Prime example for me, my first time going out the country when I was like 28, when me and Mike went to Jamaica. It was my first time in Jamaica. Beautiful country.
Oh yeah.
For what we've seen. I know there's some work out there, but from what we've seen. But what I seen was actually kind of crazy, that their gas down there, and I forgot what the name of their currency is, but it was like $100 worth of their currency was I think equivalent to our $20 bill.
I can believe it.
So their gas was like equivalent to our like $20 a gallon.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was $2 a gallon. It was 2,000 or whatever that thing was. So it was $2 a gallon for them, but it was like 2,000 or whatever the currency is for the tank up. So
interesting.
Money can stretch if you find the right environment to live in, but at the same time, you want to explore a place. You want to live your life to the fullest. You want to see the places that you've seen on TV or reading books, but then you also want to see what it's really like.
Exactly. And when this is all over with, I really can't wait to get my international travel on. I tell you that, and I can't wait to see where my ancestors come from on the continent. I'm very, very excited for that. But an amazing thing is, a lot of Europeans are actually retiring in Central and South America and in Africa now too, because in Europe it's too expensive.
Yeah, it is.
So it's kind of like I said, it's just that's becoming the new norm and whatnot. And I think the more international Westerners, quote unquote, become, I think it's going to be the norm if they don't retire, but they will at least own property in a foreign country. But like
definitely, if that's not happening already.
Yeah, exactly. Because that they say people from Europe and Asia are buying up real estate in Africa like you wouldn't believe it, and a lot of Americans are buying up real estate in Central and South America like you wouldn't believe it. Because, like you said, the euro and the dollar for the most part, it goes very long. And I mean, heck, one person told me, one of my former bosses, him and his wife, they retired in their 50s and they moved to Costa Rica, and they live in their best life. And this is the big thing. I've learned this ever since I started wholesaling real estate. Virtual assistants, because I've had people from other countries try to hit me up and I'm like, no, I'm good. But virtual assistants is a big growing thing before COVID-19. And I can only imagine how much it has blown right now because of COVID-19.
You can find virtual assistants anywhere online. Matter of fact, you read the book, The 4 Hour Work Week, right?
Yes, by Tim Ferriss, yeah.
So, I mean, in that book, he actually tells you what site to go to for your virtual assistants, and he got a reasonable price to do the job you want to do. So you can find them anywhere. And now you got to just go through a vetting process to find out which one's good for you.
Exactly.
Find that, then you're good.
Exactly. And more companies, especially self-employed, companies, they're utilizing them, tremendously. And the funny thing is, a lot of Americans that live in Central America, they're actually virtual assistants because, they're retired, they need something to do, they make a little extra money, but they're actually virtual assistants for people living in those countries. And that is a big thing too. It's like, it's not even just the people who are the locals within those countries, but it's actually Americans and other Westerners that reside in these countries, and they're living their best life, and they're helping other people live their best life all at the same time. And with this push for the digital age, there's just no more resistance to it because you don't have a choice anymore. That's the thing. I think before this, people had I don't think I know people before this, people had a choice to be somewhat resistant toward this, but
heck, I'm actually looking for a virtual assistant myself to help me then on some calls of local companies as well, so I can lock in some more deals.
Exactly. Is that right? And that's smart, because cold calling is definitely a thing. It's just that's how you're going to get more customers and things of that nature. Yeah, actually having a voice and talking to them and whatnot.
Calls all day. I know how to do it. Sometimes, but just my life is going to be really hectic next few weeks.
Yes, it is.
So I'm probably eventually now looking for a good virtual assistant to make the calls for me. Just call and lock down some deals, because I guarantee you, even I'm taking myself some paid time off to be in my wife and my newborn child, everything like that.
Right.
I'm not going to have time to be on the phone calling people on a daily basis to do it. So I get these guys to do it. Help me get at least book the appointments, and I go out and finish the job.
Exactly. They set them up, and you knock them down. I mean, that's
the plan.
Hey, and the funny thing is that you mentioned that with Patterson on Properties, I will be doing that in the beginning of 2021 and whatnot, because I'm just finishing out my 2020 goals right now. But I will definitely be looking for an American virtual assistant, because trying to find somebody else to do it around here, it's just like, that's not gonna. You already know you got to pay to play in this world.
Oh, yeah, you got you.
It's like you can't cut corners, because if you do, then you're gonna miss your shot. When you had a chance to shoot your shot, things of that nature. So I just see that growing more and more, and that's just. And the beautiful thing is, hey, they get results. That's when you pay them. 1 and 2, it's another tax write-off and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
9 them and call it a day.
If I find a good virtual assistant and everything like that, that's not like knocking them down for me, if set an appointment for me, I'll recommend it to you too, so you can get your thing.
Please do.
So
please do, because I just need a good cold caller. That's all I need. Because I said, well, because once I know somebody's willing to sell their house, like that's when you need to talk to me. You know what I mean? So that's when we need that conversation so we can go over things and whatnot. But yeah, that's all I need is a good cold caller. And yeah, you find one, especially that's American, yeah, let me know. And yeah, we definitely get it cracking. Because the funny thing is, one of my buddies, he was doing that last year part time and whatnot, and he set up his own LLC doing it.
Yeah, you can bring in a lot of money doing it because it the way some of them are set up, from what I've seen, they do maybe like let's say $25 per 100 calls. So if you got 100 calls, you make $25, they'll take care of it. And some would do it like at least one company that I've seen do it, they'll do like let's say this one company would charge you maybe $3 an hour.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
And so, but at minimum, you got at least pay at least 4 hours. So
that's nothing.
Yeah. So got to see the trade rate, how good they are. So it's a lot of things that's going on. So I'll personally send you information that actually you probably read. It's in the book already.
Okay. Oh, the 4 hour work week.
Yeah, work week. Yeah, it's in there. So
yeah, that book was so amazing in regards to how I just liked how he approached his bosses. It's like, hey, why don't we test these theories? Especially during that time frame when it was just unheard of to work outside of your office. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I give Tim Ferriss the credit. He went to his boss and just asked a simple question. Hey, or boss is, and say, hey, how about I do this? And if I'm just as productive, we call it a day. And he says just do this, basically meaning I only put a certain amount of hours in, not 8 hours or 10 hours a day. And if I give you the same results or even better results, can we keep it at me working less hours every week?
Yeah, but it goes down to the same thing we talked about before. Like sometimes you just gotta ask.
You're right.
Like for me, my business, I'm asking for money.
There you go.
In return, I'm gonna give you excellent service.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And the funny thing that you mentioned that the one TEDx talk you just stated, and it was from, if you guys ever see it, check it out on YouTube. It's called The Quarter Life Crisis. It's a very great guy named Smiley. He was a federal government employee in the Washington, D.C. area. He went to school to become work in, I think it was an international agency or something to that effect. And he was there for 2 years and he was miserable and he changed his whole life. But he said he made the acts to do different things in life, and he implemented after the acts to do those certain things in life because he wanted to become a creative and whatnot, and an entrepreneur in various different aspects. But he made the ass to do it, and his life changed. He wanted to move to San Francisco of all places, but his life changed, and he's much more happier because of that. He's a creative writer, whatnot. He creates a lot of media and whatnot. He interviews a lot of famous people. Sells products from his brand that he's created and whatnot. But like you said, when you make the ass, you never know.
Yeah, you just gotta ask.
Closed mouths don't get fed, right?
No, like you just gotta ask. Like, hey, give me some money.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give you this, or for you, give me some money. In return, I'm gonna give you a beautiful house.
There you go. Call it a day.
Yeah.
Give me some money, you get some products. Right. You get a nice house. It's fair exchange, right?
Yep.
But like you said, if you just get up and say something, that is the biggest hurdle for a lot of people in life right now. And I don't know. And it's like I said, for those that are out there now, because with this, I'm kind of fearful with this whole unemployment crisis that we got going on right now, and the fact that in August, a lot of people may get evicted. And when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of people across the country.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I don't wish that on anybody, not my worst enemy.
Yeah, it's all messed up, the whole situation, because you got to think of it like this. Yes, the people that live in the house got a chance of getting evicted.
Right.
On the side of the homeowner as well. They may have to lose that house as well.
Yes, sir. Foreclosure.
So it ain't like, okay, we got to kick you out because you're not paying your bills. No,
right.
It'll be like, hey, I got to kick you out because I lost my house to the bank.
Boom.
So it's bad.
And the banks don't want that to happen because they lose money.
Yeah. it sucks. I mean, there really
It's a
is
trickle down theory if you really think about it.
there's no upside to this.
Period.
There's no upside to it. Either you, I mean, even when that's owning a business, as business owners, like legitimate legal business owner with business licenses, LLCs, all that stuff like that.
Right.
This virus that literally came out of nowhere that put a clamp down on the whole world economy that nobody expected to happen.
No one.
They thought this was ever going to happen to this degree.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It is taking a toll on everybody, and you still have people making moves and making strides and whatnot. But most people, the only reason why consumer confidence is high is because people have been getting that $600 a week.
Yeah, and that's never. There's a whole other problem too that a lot of people would talk as well as like when the country, the American people wanted the minimum wage to go up.
Right.
Congress, the Senate, they shut it down. Like it's not going to happen. Not going to raise it up to a certain number.
Right.
Now, when they went out and checked out this HERO Act, this is the CARE Act, right? Not the HEROES Act. One of the two.
It was the CARES Act.
The CARES Act.
Yeah.
The CARES Act, $600 a week times 4, that's $2,500. A lot of people that making minimum wage just made more money
sir.
unemployment than they ever did working at their job. So basically, with that being said, it's like, hey, it's possible to raise that minimum wage. You just chose not to.
Exactly. And the funny thing is it is possible. Because there's always been an argument about the minimum wage theory. And I think I kind of lean on both sides because it's like, okay, if people get paid more, because, certain states have raised the minimum wage. Washington State has, California has, I don't remember the other ones. I think New York did it. Maybe Massachusetts too. Yeah. But the argument is always, if businesses will lose money, I don't think they'll lose that much money. But I get the mom and pop businesses. I totally do, because that's a different ball game, because a lot of them barely hang on from a month to month basis and whatnot. But then they say businesses will lose money and then most people will still be as broke as they were beforehand. What is your thoughts on that one?
Let me get some water real quick and I'll give my answer.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, that's the argument in that regards. And personally, I think that a lot of people will be broke regardless because they don't have financial literacy sense. Look, I live in the area known as the DMV area, Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland area. And you have a lot of people who are high paid employees. They make six-figure salaries, $150,000 to $200,000 a year, and they still are barely making it paycheck to paycheck. Now, one would say, well, it is very expensive and whatnot to live in the DMV. However, it's not to the San Francisco levels, the Bay Area level. That's the most expensive part of the United States to live in. I think it'll probably be there in 20 years, but it's not there yet. You can pay a person a lot of money, but if they don't have the right financial literacy, then they will still be just over broke. No other way to put it. But the caveat is I did notice when I was in Washington State and when I'm in California, that the workers at these places that are getting minimum wage are getting like $12 or $15 an hour. They seem a lot more happier compared to somebody making $7 an hour. So there's a big difference. And the service seem to be a lot better compared to somebody making $7 an hour.
Yeah. But to answer your question earlier, I'm going to say both. I'm going to say yes and no. Because like you said, the small businesses, they may not have that opportunity to raise the income high, the minimum wage amount for people to work there to make a living. So it's tough for them. Major corporations can do that.
They can. Yeah.
Now, in between, let's say the fast food joints and stuff. I don't for them. I don't think that should go up unless you are actually trying to make fast food your career, like move it to management or build something to get your own franchise. Because
exactly.
In Woodbridge ourselves, that there are people that actually made a career.
Oh yeah.
Now they're either district managers or
Exactly.
that actually get their own franchise because they've been in the company for so long.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it also goes back like you get paid for whatever skills you have. If you bring those skills to the table, you get enough money that's going to take care of yourself. But when you got to start supporting other people, you got to step up.
Agreed.
So it is a thin line for it, but the people that wants it, the people that want to make a difference in their lives or their family lives, they're going to do whatever it takes to make it happen.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. And at the end of the day, like you just stated, if you're going to stay in the fast food industry, then you got to step up and you got to work harder.
Yeah, and
it's your regular day-to-day duties. You got to become a manager. You got to put up a franchise. You got to find a way to get a job at the corporate office, but you have to step up because it's like you said. You and I know plenty of people that have done that. They've stepped up and they're up there. They're not just a regular cashier or person on the grill anymore. You know what I mean?
Put their hours in. They worked out. Manager noticed them, and then they just they worked themselves up, become manager, district manager. Some of them work in the office. I mean, heck, I knew a couple of people that actually worked at a McDonald's, actually down in Norfolk, and actually gave them a scholarship to finish their schooling down there.
Exactly.
That became they worked at the corporate office, and I think one of them now is in the process of getting a franchise somewhere in the 7 cities down there.
I believe it. I believe it. And that's what it's all about. It's like I said, nobody's looking down, but like you said, at the end of the day, you have to step outside of the box because people get in their comfort zone. They think that they should get paid more to stay in their comfort zone. The world doesn't owe you that.
And you know what? And that is the in my opinion, that's the biggest downside of having technology.
Yes.
Is that you are, and I'm even myself, we get comfortable too fast because we got the things that keep us entertained.
Yes.
Right. Coronavirus kicked in, and a lot of people know they could be losing jobs. What do? They take their mind off. They got ordered their TVs. They got their TV shows. They got their cable. Yep. I got a streaming TV program that just get all my channels, but at a fraction of the price of regular cable.
Right. Yeah, it was dead for the most part.
I'm a bona fide nerd, so I got all my gaming stuff, so I can and stuff. But once you get that comfort zone to the point that you may say, okay, this may go by. I'm going to play video games for like a few months, take them out on things, or I'm going to watch the latest Netflix shows or anything like that, make my time fly by. Then you realize, oh, this might be longer than that. Now I got to step into it. Instead of going out on your feet and going to some of these jobs to get, show a face or shake a hand and stuff like that, you got it online. You're in front of your computer. You're typing your resume up and everything. So I can see to a certain degree technology has hindered us a little bit.
Yes.
Everything came in too fast for us, especially when we were. I mean, look how fast we got introduced to America Online with the dial-up.
Oh man, you're taking me back. Yeah, that was my first computer dial-up. Oh my God! And I used to drive. I was a teenager. I was driving my mom crazy because she couldn't get on the phone.
Yeah, and then the minute by the time we graduated high school, they got DSL or cable internet where you can still have your phone, you still have the internet, and so it just became more convenient instead of us getting out there and really expanding our minds, everything. I mean, exactly. I remember when we had to we went to go see a friend up in Jersey. Dennis, Derek, all of us went to go to Jersey, and our first went up there. I remember the time we had to print out our direction on MapQuest. And
that was the worst.
And we try to save gas. So we did not use the AC. So we'll hold on to the paper. And we're kind of screwed. So from that to actually having a live navigation system on your phone or on your car by itself, it goes a long way. So technology is great to have it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that's born into this technology won't know what to do once it goes away.
Agreed. They won't know what to do when it goes away. And then too, they're not really getting to enjoy the fruits of being as independent and the fruits of just life in general. Because
Well,
I mean, heck, I'm guilty of this. If I'm constantly on my cell phone, you know what I mean? I don't really get the opportunity to truly enjoy certain things in life and whatnot. If I'm constantly like, even when you're in public before COVID-19, people don't engage with each other as much because they're constantly engaged in their technology.
well, let me throw this in perspective for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you just got laid off or furloughed from your job,
Right.
there's no money coming in. You lose your cable.
Mm.
You lose your internet. Mostly cable internet it's on the same bill, but
Right.
you lose your phone, and all you got is electricity that you have to keep your it depending on what house you might have gas too, but to cook
Right.
some food and at least down here stay cool at night.
Right. Right.
Now you got to figure out what you're gonna do. No internet, no cable, maybe no electricity.
Mm.
Now, how are you gonna now for people that's born into technology?
Right.
We're gonna reach out and make something happen.
They gotta have no choice because they're gonna be forced.
But here's the thing: how are they gonna do it? See, we've been through this before all this stuff. We know
Right.
what to do. Except that if we don't have a phone or we don't have a internet or cable, we knew what to do. We go outside and do something. We made
Right.
if we had to get a job, we actually went to the job or
Mm.
see and hand our resume, make ourselves known.
Right.
But this COVID-19, many people that just been born in technology, they never
Right.
figured that out.
You got a point. I can't disagree with that whatsoever. You
Yeah,
know.
they gotta figure it out. Now they gotta figure, okay, where is this company located at? Now I gotta go over there, and if I have, hopefully I got gas to get myself over there. So you get there, you give them a resume. They're like, okay, now we'll give you a call. Uh-oh, I don't have my phone. My phone is cut off. I gotta find a way to get somebody to call. Now you gotta figure that out. Or
You're right.
now I'm gonna have to go to the public library to see the computers. But even libraries down here, to a certain degree, have been closed during coronavirus. So now you got to figure out what you got to do then. So it's a lot of things that come into it that people don't think about until it's too late.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And the funny thing is, outside of the people who've gone through like military survival training, for the most part, a lot of these young people would just essentially be screwed. I don't think they realize it.
Yeah.
It's oh yeah. It's just one of those things. And like you said, they need to know what it's like to not have this, all of this technology, because as a society, we've just become a little too oversaturated.
Right.
Just a little.
But I will say this, for the people that know what they're doing and out there things happen, it's gonna like us, for example, we're doing our best to make things happen. It's going to benefit us in the long run because now we're going to be more prepared if something like this, something similar will happen again, because we're now experiencing this type of pandemic. Like the people back in the early 1900s with the Spanish flu, if it ever came back, well, obviously not now, but if it ever came back, let's say that like before the Great Depression, people, I know what to do. Great Depression, and they didn't know what to do to get things fixed up until World War II came out. Then they understood that. So when the Great Recession came out for us, my grandparents, they told me stories of what they did, and it made sense to me.
Right.
At that time, I was a part of a statistic that lost a job and couldn't get a job for a whole year. And you see my battles. So there's a lot of things I went through. I mean, one day I was actually trying to work.
Right.
And I was driving on bad tags, and I found out my license was suspended. They took my license away.
Wow.
And I remember this day because your birthday party was that weekend, and he took my license, and I missed out because by that time the DMV was closed, and I couldn't get my my ID card.
I remember now.
Yeah, so
I remember.
I made sure never again am I going to go through nonsense like that, because up to the day, I hate going to the DMV.
Oh, we all do.
I hate paying for tickets.
Yeah.
And thank goodness it was back then and not now. And I hate trying to get pulled over by the cops because I don't know
Oh,
what
absolutely.
nowadays.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
but because of that, I got experience. I made sure it's not going to happen again. So now with this coronavirus kicking in, I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that my family's good.
Absolutely. Because like what you just mentioned, all these things take place because it has to make people stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Situations made you stronger. The last recession made us as a country, as a society, stronger. And this virus is going to make us even stronger as well. It's just new territory because during the recession in 2007 and 8, there was new territory.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to see some new territory happen within the next like 2021 to it's going to be very interesting to say the least, where it's going to really take us.
I mean, hey, in January 2021, we already know it's going to happen. We already know something's going to be major. Either actually, not even January 21. In November of 2020, we're going to find out, are we going to keep our current president or we're going to have a new one?
That
So
is true.
that right there could be a changing factor right there. And then if we do get a new one, how's that going to go into effect for 2021 and on? So there's just so many things going on that I mean, this year it just is very critical, at least for us Americans,
Right.
to get things situated and everything like that. Now, as for the world, obviously every country has their own issue to work with, but
Oh,
everybody
absolutely.
thinks
Absolutely.
to figure out a cure or a way to at least minimize the damages that's caused with this coronavirus.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think right now in July, and that's why I was so happy when I screened out victory and whatnot, because right now it's time for rationing. Right now it is time for getting all your materials together for 2021, because 20 to me is where it's at right now. Okay. And November comes, November goes. I think everybody should want to start off 2021 on a fresher note, especially from two different standpoints: health and financial. Be as healthier as possible when it comes to the food you consume, the exercising you do, and obviously the exposure you have to other people. And two, obviously your financial house. Do your best to get it in order. And what is the beginning of 2021? Another tax season. So full chance for more income tax checks coming in and all that good stuff. So tax refunds and all that good stuff. So that's why I'm so excited about January and February. I mean, what happens in November is going to happen in November, and it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
Will there be that big of a change in the new year, depending on the November's elections? That's a good question.
Well, I'm with you on tax season because another child helps me out gratefully. So
boom, there you go, and there you have it. That's a beautiful thing. And hey, the amount of money I've had to put out with my businesses this year, I am ready to get my money back. So,
oh yeah, I know you are.
So, and guess what? More tax liens will be coming, and I will be going to purchase. So that's
I get it, man. I'm actually I'm proud of you for getting that one.
I appreciate that, man. It was a long battle, but I was just like, because there was two different sales. There was the one that happened on Tuesday, and I didn't get one because I didn't put enough money in. And then my buddy got one, and this is his first time doing a tax lien sale, so he was very excited. And then today was round 2 for the houses that didn't get purchased in round 1. So I'm just glad I got one. So
did you have to physically go to Baltimore for it, or you did it online?
This was online.
Okay.
So I give Baltimore credit for having an online tax sale before COVID-19. I give Maricopa County, which is in Phoenix, that will be in January, and I'm going to attend that one. I give them credit for having theirs online, because Arizona is a beautiful state, and having property out there is even better. So
I need to go out there just to see how it is.
Oh yeah, you'll love Phoenix. If you like Vegas, if you love Vegas, you will love Phoenix, Arizona. Very beautiful city.
My coworker and my boss actually lives out there in that area. They keep saying this. Come on out there. Matter of fact, go find a way. We'll find a way. We'll make it happen where you can actually still work and get paid for that. Get paid to work over there. So we'll make it happen. Come out there.
Oh man, you got to do it, man. Shoot, yeah, Phoenix. I went 4 years ago.
Right now, so.
Oh yeah. You don't want to do it right now, but you know, because I wanted to actually go to Phoenix in November. I went there in November 2016, had a blast. And I went by myself. I was just like, hey, I just want to go. You know, I met up with one of my boys that lives in LA. We just met half. He just flew. Well, he actually drove out there. You know, because it's not that far. But yeah, it was. And I drove to if you drove your family to the Grand Canyon, they would love it. That's one thing I will say. That was a very beautiful, peaceful drive. You know, obviously you want your baby to be like a year or two old, obviously, but yeah, that was a very beautiful drive.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't have no problem. Me, when it comes to me driving, I have no problem doing it. It's just me.
Got you.
Family, nah.
Okay. I understand.
The plane trip.
I got you. Well, if you go out there by yourself, I would recommend you taking that nice long drive. It is very beautiful.
Yeah, I'll do it. But
very peaceful. Yeah, Phoenix is a beautiful town. The suburbs that surround Phoenix. I get why a lot of people retire in that area. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, how people in Virginia retire in North Carolina and Georgia. Well, it's like people in California, Oregon, and Washington State, they retire in Nevada and Arizona and whatnot.
It's also to a certain degree is a health reason as well. That desert air is actually good for your body, like your joints and stuff like that, compared to more humid, wet environment.
Exactly. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because that's why I wanted to retire in Las Vegas, because I feel like I breathe better out there, you know, and I just feel like I have more natural energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's something about the atmosphere out in Vegas, Nevada, and Arizona compared to anywhere else. You know, it's like I said, the climate is just so much better. It's like, and obviously when you see the sun more, you just, you know, you're going to be in a better mood, obviously. So I think probably a lot of people losing their mind now because they've been in the house too long.
Definitely.
But appreciate you coming on, brother. Definitely always appreciate it. I'm glad you were able to plug your business in and all that good stuff. Please tell your wife I said hello, and my mother says hello. And you know, hey man, congratulations! I know the second baby's on its way.
Oh yeah, another girl. So I'm definitely a girl dad. That's for sure.
Yes, indeed. You're the Lone Ranger man in the house.
Put like this: the voting powers has been shifted.
And you ain't got no veto power.
Nope, not at all.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, as long as you and the family are happy and safe, that's all that matters. And especially nowadays, that's really all that matters. So, okay, so stay cool down there in good old San Antonio, brother.
All right, talk to you later, brother.
All right, man. Thanks. All right, family. This has been another great live episode. Thank you for watching. Please do the great 3 free things by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Check out Reaching Out Consultants with good old Christopher Edwards. Got a lot of great business mantra, and he can help grow your business all at the same time. So until next time, family, see you guys next week for the live session. And if you've been watching when we go live, like I said, every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, tune in. And hey, if you want to discuss, we can discuss. On that note, take care.